Did you miss out on my Monday paint party? Well, no worries, as you've officially got the VIP replay edited so you can watch all the fun parts. Hi, I'm Dr. Shazia, your paint buddy, and if you love secret art tips, fun painting demos, and brutally honest art supply reviews, then stop strolling and keep watching Conversations with Canvas. For today's paint party, we are painting this beautiful, cute, colorful paintbrush, and I'm keeping things nice and simple. I'll be painting on an A5 sketchbook with gouache paints, a flat brush, a couple of round water pen brushes, a jar of clean water, some tissue to wipe off the excess paint, and that's it. Nothing fancy. Let's begin with the loose sketch. Now, I prefer sketching with paint, but if sketching directly with a paintbrush scares you, you could sketch with a pencil, though I would still suggest break that fear and use a paintbrush as it helps you keep the painting really loose. I'm diluting the violet to a very watery consistency. Now I break down my subject into very simple shapes. So this is basically just two rectangles and the brush handle. You could also break that down into simpler shapes, but that's it. Also, don't really worry about distortion or the sketch not being perfect. It's perfectly all right. We could always correct it, and we will be correcting it once we get back with into it with paints. I like to start with the darkest areas in the painting. Now this really helps me keep all the values in check. So here the shadow of the brush is the darkest, and I'm mixing a reddish brown color using the basic colors that I'll be mentioning in the caption. Now if you want to elevate your shadows from boring grays and also know all about the edges, the colors and the nuances of shadows, do watch this video on shadows. This is a great breakdown which will help you understand how you could paint shadows. You can see now by just adding in the shadow, the painting has already started taking its form. Now I think I'll paint the background first and leave the star of the show for last. Now the background is a dull peachy color, but I don't want the background to be flat and boring. I want it to have some different shades of peach. So I'll be just adding in colors every time I go back to the palette to load my brush. Now, if you want to keep a uniform background, you could do that too. And if you want to change the background color, you could also try out this color. It's entirely up to you how you want to take this painting ahead. With the background in place now, I'm moving on to paint the star of the show, the paintbrush. I'll also make corrections in my drawings as I'll paint the handle, because this is the time when I can do all the corrections needed for my paintbrush. Now, the colors that I'm using are just a mix of yellow and white, and for the shadow area I'm adding in just a touch of the complementary color. That's it. Now when you add light and dark areas on a subject, you are creating its form. So that is what you need to be careful about, that you add in the light and the darker areas to define the subject's form. The bristles of this brush, as you can see, have been stained by colors. So I am going to be just painting in some dark, warm neutrals, which will be cooling down as I move towards the edge. As the darker shades are going to be warmer and they're going to be towards the base of the ferrule. As I move towards the top, they're going to be more greenish. And you can see that my brush marks are also vertical in this area because they are mimicking the direction of the bristles. So when you use your brush strokes to mimic the subject, then you are defining the form in a much better way. The last block-in is the metallic ferrule of the brush. Now I'm painting the ferrule with horizontal brush strokes. Now what will this do? This will emphasize the vertical strokes of the bristles, and it will also add a variety in the brush strokes that I have made. The ferrule is made of metal, it's in a silver kind of a color, and I have broken down painting of a metal into an easy peasy formula. The reflections from the surroundings, the darker areas, and the strong bright highlights, I have explained everything in a lot of detail in this video. Now the colors for the darker areas are a muted grayish violet, and as I'm painting in the mid tones, they're shifting more towards being more bluish or muted teal in color. I'm adding in cool highlights, that is, I'm mixing the white with just a teeny weeny bit of that teal color to emphasize the cooler highlights and the metallic look. Now it's time to make the handle look more better, and its form is to be corrected. So I'm adding in a shadow area under it, just under the ferrule area, and I kind of messed up over here. That is, I didn't clean my brush, and you could see that the color got dirty. Adding in again yellow with a little bit of the white to correct it, and now just adding in a touch of white in those areas to make the 3D form of the handle also visible. With all the highlights in place, it's now time to add in a teeny weeny bit of the details to make it look 3D and also to complete the brush. Now, to add in the flowers, that is the blue flowers, I'm going to be using my old trusted skewer, the back of the skewer, and that is the easiest way to add in those circular flowers. Now, when you need to add really tiny highlights or tiny details into your paintings, an acrylic Posca marker is the greatest way to add in those details without, really messing it up. So, I'm using my acrylic white Posca. You could use any marker, any acrylic marker, not an alcohol marker. You can use an acrylic marker to do these details. And that's it. A complete wrap up of the live paint party which was held on Instagram. I hope you enjoyed this replay. Do join in the live next time on Instagram. It's usually on a Monday evening. Until then, take care, keep creating, and I'll see you soon for more art magic on Conversations with Canvas. Bye.